Hey there fellow painters, welcome back to the Rogue Painter channel. I am JD, aka the Rogue Painter, and we're here for another episode of Mortal Realms Monday. For this episode we're going to be painting the Griffhound from the Castigators issue that came with issue 3. And for this we're just going to do a nice simple colour scheme. We're not going to do the white one. We're going to give him more of a griffin type colour scheme, which will be sort of a brownish look to the body, white mane, golden looking beak, and then black and gold for the armour, and then obviously the base on top of that. So let's get started. Alright, so first of all I'm going to go with the base of Xandri Dust for the body. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of that into our wet palette here. Thin that down slightly, and we'll just go ahead and cover the entire body with this until we've got a nice even coverage of it. So I'll just get on with this and we'll be back in just a tick. Right, once we have that done, we're just going to take some Abaddon black and just paint the collar and the brace thing that he has here. So some Abaddon black. Don't need too much for this. So if you want to just go ahead and get a layer of that on, it's a nice even coat. Again, we are thinned down slightly, makes application of the paint much easier, so it will require a couple of coats, so we'll come back once that's done. Okay, so that's the collar done. I also took the time to paint the claws black here. They will be going white, but black base will give for the tone underneath. So next up will be to do a layer of Dawnstone on the plumage here. So obviously it's a layer paint, so we'll take a few coats, but with this we're going to do the plumage and the hair. Right, so we're just going to get a nice coat of this all over, and we'll be back in a bit. Right, so next up is just to take some of the Dawnstone here and just go over the claws, leaving a small area at the base of each one black. So just go around all the claws, getting that in, and then we'll be back in just a bit. Right, so once we've got that done, all that's left is to take some Retributor armour and do all the gold pieces. So just put some of that in the palette here. So just a quick layer over all the gold pieces, including the headpiece here and these pieces here, and we'll be back in a bit. Right, so now that we have all of that done, it's time to give the model a complete wash with Seraphim Sapia over the entire thing. So nice and easy with this one, fairly large brush. This is our number 5, just a cheap old brush, and just go over the entire model, let it stain the surfaces, get it down into the exposed muscle areas, darken those up all along the tail. In the mane, you know, the hair, the ears, the face, over all the gold. Nice and easy, this part. So I do layer it on quite thick, and then I go back in and remove excesses that are pooling up too much, you know, more than I'd like. Don't forget the under area. Nope, caught the camera there. And again. Right, and then just let that dry, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so once our Seraphim Sepia has had time to dry, we're going to move on to the next stages, and we're just going to take some of that original Xandri dust there, and we're going to give all the body area a light dry brush of it, and we're just trying to pick off the edge and the tops of the muscle areas. You do want to keep some of that brownish look. This is just for an extreme highlight, as the Sepia wash has pretty much done our job for us in staining the original colour. So I'm just looking to pick up some highlights here, just on the top of the muscles, and across the back here, across the legs, the tail, this side's got a little bit more muscle definition to it, so just try and pick out some of that. Right, then we'll take some of the grey. I'm going to do a quick dry brush over the black collar area here. And also over the feathers on the mane there. Now with these, it's a brilliant place to use dry brushing technique. You just want to come down following the motion of the feathers. We do want to try and get these quite light. Right, then we're going to take some more of that Avaland Sunset. And same thing, just a dry brush over the top just to bring back some of those highlight areas and pull the beak there, just to get this to pop out a little bit. Right, next up we'll just take some ceramite white. And again, just a light dry brush over the feathers around the neck here. Find that your brush is too wet, try and dry it off as much as possible. You don't want that white running into the shaded areas. You try to use the side of the brush, that way you won't have the tips flick into the recessed areas there, and you've got less chance of filling areas in that you don't want to fill in. But if you do, just go back over with a wash and start again. and basically go over as many times as you need to until it's as white as you want it to be. And then the same again, and just go over the claws down there. And this is where these angled dry brushes come in really handy, as you can put them around the corner slightly. If you were doing a flat one this way, you'd end up going over the foot. And then we'll take some of that white, mix it in with that Avalon Sunset just to pale it down slightly, and then we're just going to touch the top of the beak and top of the mane and a few other areas, just to add a bit more definition to it. We can brush a little bit over the tail as well, just to give it a bit more of a golden look on the tip there. Right, and now we'll take a superfine detail brush. We're just going to try and dot in the eyes here. So very carefully. There's the eyes, and then finally the gold. We just want to touch on some areas, sort of on the surfaces that the light would catch the most. Obviously I'm doing with this with the super fine brush, but you can switch back to your regular brush if you wish. We want to leave some of the areas that have that sepia wash on them to give a bit more definition. So up here we're just going to go around the edge here, along the edge here, a small ball emblem type thing on the top here, just using the side of the brush. And pretty much just edge highlighting the majority of areas. And then the studs here will do. You could do these in silver if you wanted to. Yeah, we're just going to touch them with gold. Right, so once you've got the base painted up, there you go, that is the completed model there. So I just want to thank you guys for sticking by the video, giving it a watch. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then leave a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, please do check out my links down in the description below for my Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. Be sure to follow those, and you'll get notifications of when I go live on Twitch, uploading videos and things like that. And if you want to support the channel further, then I do have a Patreon there. You can subscribe to that. It's just a couple of quid a month, which will go towards buying new models and paints and things like that, and just helping the channel grow in general. So thanks a lot guys, and I will catch you next time.